Syria is celebrating, or just celebrated, the 1-year anniversary of the fall of the Assad regime, which took place on December 8th, 2024. So it's now December 8th, 2025. And that's a momentous and important occasion for Syrians. It seems like millions of people turned out, in Damascus and Homs, Hama, Aleppo, and the big cities to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of this. And there's been a whole series of events over the past week leading up to it, basically retracing the steps of the offensive that began in late November of 2024 that swept the Assad regime out of power in a momentous offensive, one of the quickest collapses of a regime in history in a way. I mean, after, more than 10 years of civil war, to see the regime just implode like that was fascinating. I think now, the discussion in Syria, which is interesting, is you see that while the major Sunni Arab areas were celebrating, other areas in Syria were not celebrating for various reasons. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of celebration in Suwaida, in the Druze area of southern Syria, even though there were, maybe was some statements saying that they're glad the Assad regime is gone. And in eastern Syria, the U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces area, the governing authorities camped down on celebrations, claiming that they had to secure them against terrorist attacks and that they couldn't do that. Therefore, there shouldn't be mass gatherings, which I don't think really holds a lot of water. I mean, the SDF is a U.S.-trained force, advise and assist, 100,000 men under arms. They should be able to secure eastern Syria against terrorist attacks. And if after 10 years of partnership they can't secure an area to have a mass gathering the size of a wedding or a funeral because of alleged terrorist attacks, it's a problem. So I think the reality is they were concerned that some of these, demonstrations celebrating 1 year of the fall of Assad could actually be against them, because there's a certain percentage of people there that oppose probably the PYD or AANS or SDF. So, they're kind of trying to negotiate how they're going to integrate with the new Syrian government, and they are a bit cautious as well. But in the end of the day, I think the Syrian year anniversary of the fall of the Assad regime is a huge hope for the region, and it's a testimony to the defeat of a regime and the ability of people to find optimism. And most countries in the region support the new government in Damascus and hope that things will get better. And there are obviously lots of hurdles, but I think it's worthwhile to give it a lot of a chance and to invest in it. And the U.S. NDAA, I think that's making its way through Congress, hopefully gets the sanctions relief and things that they're going to need.